Have you ever felt weighed down by emotional attachments, caught in a relentless cycle that seems impossible to escape? Perhaps it feels like a heavy weight you carry daily, making even small moments of joy fleeting and overshadowed. Emotional attachments, whether to people, relationships, or past experiences, can create invisible chains that hold you back, keeping you tethered to what no longer serves you. This cycle can leave you feeling powerless, as if your emotions control you rather than the other way around. It's a struggle many people silently endure, an internal battle where memories, fears, and hopes collide, trapping you in a state of emotional stagnation. But here's the truth: freedom from this emotional burden is not only possible, it's within your control. The power to break free and find peace isn't something reserved for a few, it's an innate ability that lies within you, waiting to be unlocked. It begins with understanding that emotional detachment doesn't mean abandoning care or love, but rather redefining how you experience and process connections. Drawing inspiration from the timeless teachings of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, this video will introduce you to 10 transformative Stoic principles that have stood the test of time. These rules, grounded in practical wisdom, offer a roadmap to emotional liberation. They will teach you how to shift your focus inward, prioritize your personal growth, and let go of the things you cannot control. By integrating these principles into your daily life, you'll learn to navigate relationships and emotions with resilience, clarity, and unwavering inner strength. Imagine reclaiming your mental space, unburdened by constant emotional turmoil. Picture yourself waking up with a clear mind, focused on your goals and surrounded by peace, no longer held hostage by someone else's actions, opinions, or absence. These Stoic teachings will guide you toward a life where you're emotionally anchored, deeply self-reliant, and capable of embracing each moment with renewed confidence and purpose. Emotional detachment, when practiced with intention, isn't about losing connection, it's about strengthening your relationship with yourself, allowing you to experience life with greater freedom, clarity, and resilience. Why is emotional detachment so powerful? As Seneca wisely said, "He who is brave is free." This powerful statement underscores the essence of emotional detachment, the courage to confront your inner struggles and liberate yourself from the grip of unhealthy attachments. Detachment does not mean turning cold, unfeeling, or withdrawing from life. Instead, it's about fostering a deeper connection with yourself, one where your peace and happiness are no longer at the mercy of other people's actions, opinions, or the unpredictability of life. It is a conscious choice to let go of emotional baggage that weighs you down, allowing you to navigate challenges with clarity, resilience, and strength. At its core, emotional detachment is about reclaiming control of your inner world. Imagine your emotions as strings tied to people, events, or situations. The more strings you have, the more tangled you become, leaving others to tug and pull at your peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom lies in loosening those strings, not by severing connections with the world, but by establishing boundaries that protect your emotional well-being. Detachment allows you to observe life's ups and downs objectively, without being swept away by every tide of emotion. It's about achieving a steady, unshakable center from which you can make decisions rooted in reason and self-awareness. In this video, you'll uncover practical and profound strategies inspired by the wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus' timeless teachings that have guided generations through life's trials. These strategies are designed to help you identify the root causes of emotional dependency, cultivate healthier habits, and reframe your mindset. Together, we will explore powerful tools to help you break free from attachments that no longer serve you, enabling you to focus on what truly matters: your personal growth, your purpose, and your inner peace. Imagine a life where your emotions no longer feel like a puppet controlled by external circumstances. Picture yourself holding the remote control to your mind, consciously choosing peace, wisdom, and stability over chaos and conflict. In this state of emotional freedom, you will develop the ability to face life's challenges with strength and grace, unshaken by what is outside your control. This journey is not about rejecting connection, but about fostering a deeper, healthier relationship with yourself, one that empowers you to thrive regardless of what life throws your way. Are you ready to begin this transformative journey? Let's dive in with Rule 1, the power of detachment, and uncover the keys to emotional resilience and lasting inner freedom. Rule 1, the power of detachment. Have you ever felt like your emotions were being controlled by someone else? It's as if every smile, tear, or moment of doubt depends on the words, actions, or approval of others. When you give someone that much influence over your happiness or sadness, you're handing over the remote control to your feelings. Suddenly, your emotional state feels like a program someone else is directing. They decide when you feel joy, when you experience pain, and when you spiral into overthinking. This dependency robs you of your emotional freedom and places your peace in the hands of others, making you vulnerable to their whims and inconsistencies. Detachment, however, is about reclaiming that remote control. It's about consciously deciding not to let external events or individuals dictate your inner peace. Epictetus captured this idea perfectly when he said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." The truth is, life will always present challenges, conflicts, and emotional turbulence, but how you choose to perceive and respond to them is within your control. Emotional detachment doesn't mean becoming cold, unfeeling, or indifferent to others. It means developing the wisdom and strength to care without clinging and to love without losing yourself. It's about finding stability within, so you are no longer a puppet of external circumstances. Visualize your emotions as a kite floating in the air with strings tethered to every person, situation, or expectation that influences your state of mind. Every argument, judgment, or unmet desire pulls the kite in a different direction, creating chaos. If you grip too tightly to a single string, obsessing over one person's approval or a single outcome, the kite can't soar freely. If you hold too many strings at once, your focus and energy are spread thin, leaving you emotionally drained. Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson here: let go of the illusion of control. You can't stop the wind or the turbulence of life, but you can decide which strings to hold on to and how firmly to grasp them. You can choose to let go of what doesn't serve you and allow the kite of your emotions to float with grace and balance. The practical steps to detach. 1. Identify your attachments. Take a moment to reflect deeply on the people, situations, or outcomes you feel overly attached to. Write them down if it helps. Ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of losing? Why does this attachment carry so much weight in my life? Am I seeking validation, avoiding loneliness, or holding on to something that feels familiar? By identifying the root of your attachment, you can begin to untangle yourself from emotional dependency and take the first step toward freedom. 2. Refocus on purposeful activities. Shift your energy toward activities that nurture your mind, body, and soul. Detachment doesn't mean withdrawing from life, it means engaging with it more meaningfully. Channel your time into personal growth, learn new skills, read empowering books, or engage in practices like meditation and journaling. Self-care, prioritize activities that bring you joy and peace, such as exercise, creative hobbies, or spending time in nature. Acts of service, helping others, or contributing to your community creates a sense of fulfillment that's independent of external relationships. 3. Reframe your perspective. Remind yourself that emotional detachment is a strength, not a weakness. It doesn't mean loving less, it means loving better, without desperation or fear of loss. It's about embracing the idea that you are enough on your own, and your peace isn't dependent on someone else's behavior or validation. By embracing detachment, you'll unlock a powerful realization your worth and happiness are not tied to anyone else. You'll start to view life through a clearer lens, free from the constant need for approval or the fear of losing something outside your control. This newfound clarity allows you to act with intention, confidence, and purpose, rather than being swayed by the chaos around you. Imagine the freedom of waking up each day knowing that your peace, joy, and stability come from within, that you are no longer a passenger, but the driver of your emotional journey. Rule 2. Understand the root of attachment. Why do we cling so tightly to certain people or outcomes, even when it hurts us? At its core, attachment often stems from ego, our desire for validation, security, or identity. The ego convinces us that external factors, whether they be relationships, possessions, or achievements, are essential to our happiness and worth. This creates a false sense of dependency where we tie our self-esteem and fulfillment to something beyond our control. Seneca once observed, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In this context, wealth isn't measured by what we own or who we're connected to, but by the freedom we experience when we release unnecessary desires. Attachments often masquerade as love or ambition, but in reality they reflect a deeper insecurity or void we believe can only be filled by external sources. Whether it's the approval of a partner, the outcome of a career goal, or the stability of a situation, our ego tricks us into believing that having these things will complete us. The truth, however, is that happiness, security, and self-worth are intrinsic. They come from nurturing our inner world, not chasing external validation. To free yourself, it's essential to look deeper and recognize that attachment is often rooted in fear of loss, rejection, loneliness, or failure. These fears can create emotional chains, convincing us that without this person or outcome, we'll somehow collapse or lose our purpose. But ask yourself, why am I holding on so tightly? What am I afraid will happen if I let go often? You'll discover that the attachment stems from illusions, that your worth depends on someone else's presence, or that life will lose its meaning without a certain outcome. Imagine a life where your peace and joy aren't dictated by whether someone stays or leaves, or whether a goal is met or missed. What would your life look like if you let go of the need to control? The truth is, releasing attachments doesn't lead to emptiness. It creates space for something even better: freedom, clarity, and growth. When you loosen your grip, you make room for new opportunities, healthier relationships, and a stronger connection to your authentic self. The key lies in shifting your mindset to abundance. Trust that life has more to offer than what you fear losing. Understand that letting go doesn't mean losing everything. It means gaining the freedom to experience life without emotional baggage. Instead of focusing on scarcity, where one loss feels catastrophic, embrace the belief that what is meant for you will naturally align with your path. Letting go isn't giving up, it's an act of courage, a declaration that your happiness and self-worth aren't dependent on external circumstances, but on the strength and wisdom within you. By practicing this shift, you'll begin to recognize that clinging too tightly to anyone or anything only diminishes your ability to thrive. True fulfillment comes when you realize that you are already whole, already enough, and that life's value exists not in what you hold on to, but in the freedom to let go and trust the journey. Rule 3: break the illusion of control. Many people believe they can control how others behave or how situations unfold, often investing immense energy into trying to manipulate outcomes or anticipate the actions of others. This illusion of control creates a cycle of frustration and disappointment because reality rarely aligns with our expectations. Whether it's waiting for someone's approval, hoping a relationship will change, or obsessing over a situation that didn't turn out as planned, the desire to control what is outside of us becomes a heavy emotional burden. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. This timeless Stoic teaching reminds us that peace lies in surrendering control over external circumstances and mastering the inner workings of our minds. Imagine someone criticizing you unjustly or a close relationship not meeting your expectations. The natural reaction might be anger, sadness, or an attempt to fix the other person. However, no matter how much effort you put into changing someone's behavior or altering an outcome, their actions remain beyond your grasp. Here's the reality: you cannot control how others think, feel, or act, but you can control how you respond. This distinction is where your true power lies. By focusing on your actions, thoughts, and values, you develop emotional resilience. You can decide to respond with calm instead of frustration, understanding instead of anger, or action instead of despair. This shift in focus transforms you from a victim of circumstances to the master of your reactions. For example, instead of being consumed by someone's negative comment, you can choose to evaluate its validity, let go of any unnecessary emotional weight, and reaffirm your sense of self-worth. When you feel overwhelmed or out of control, take a moment to ask yourself, is this something I can influence? If the answer is no, release it. Dwelling on the uncontrollable only amplifies your suffering. Instead, channel your energy into what you can control: your perspective, your habits, and your decisions. For instance, if a coworker's behavior frustrates you, focus on improving your own performance rather than fixating on their actions. If a relationship ends unexpectedly, reflect on what you learned and redirect your attention toward personal growth. This practical tip: create a mental list of controllables and uncontrollables. Each time you feel out of balance, write down what aspects of the situation you can truly influence, like your mindset, choices, or attitude, and what you cannot, such as someone else's reactions or the outcome of an event. Over time, this practice will help you accept reality as it is and find strength in focusing on your response. By letting go of the illusion of control, you free yourself from the weight of unnecessary stress and emotional dependence. You begin to live with greater clarity, peace, and purpose, aligning yourself with the Stoic understanding that true freedom is found in mastering your mind, not the world around you. Rule 4: Detachment in practice. Letting go can feel terrifying, like releasing your grip on a safety rope when you're suspended high above the ground. The fear of the unknown grips you, whispering that without the rope, you might fall into uncertainty, pain, or failure. This hesitation comes from the belief that holding on, even if it's painful, is safer than the risk of release. But here's the truth: holding on too tightly can hurt far more than letting go. Picture this: you're clinging to a rope so tightly that your palms burn, your muscles tremble, and your strength begins to fade. You might think that your survival depends on that grip, but the rope isn't always a lifeline. Sometimes it's the very thing keeping you trapped, preventing you from moving forward. Each moment you hold on is another moment you deny yourself relief, freedom, and growth. Detachment doesn't mean free falling into chaos or giving up. It means trusting yourself enough to let go of what no longer serves you. When you loosen your grip, the tension eases, and you find space to breathe again. You realize that the rope was keeping you anchored in one place, holding you back from exploring new horizons. By choosing to release it, you open your arms to new opportunities and experiences that were previously out of reach. The act of letting go is like stepping onto solid ground after dangling for far too long. It's liberating, empowering, and transformative. And growth begins the moment you decide to release what weighs you down. By embracing the discomfort of detachment, you make room for personal evolution, inviting clarity, peace, and possibilities into your life. You are no longer bound by the illusion of safety. Instead, you walk forward stronger and unburdened, ready to explore the vast potential of what lies ahead. Rule 5: Define your own happiness. Too often, we tether our happiness to external approval, measuring our worth through the eyes of others, whether it's a friend's validation, a partner's affection, or society's fleeting standards of success. This dependency can trap us in an endless cycle of seeking acceptance, leaving us vulnerable to disappointment when approval is withheld or circumstances change. Stoicism, however, offers a powerful alternative. True joy originates from within, rooted in our values, principles, and actions rather than external opinions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This insight highlights the importance of nurturing our inner mindset. When we prioritize personal fulfillment over external validation, we free ourselves from the exhausting need to please others or conform to their expectations. True happiness becomes an internal compass, grounded in actions that align with our own purpose. Ask yourself, what activities, experiences, or pursuits bring genuine satisfaction? Is it learning a new skill, contributing to a meaningful cause, or creating something that reflects your passion? By focusing on these intrinsic goals, you cultivate a sense of fulfillment that isn't easily shaken by the opinions or judgments of others. Imagine your happiness as a tree deeply rooted in your own self-awareness and growth. While external forces like praise or criticism may rustle the leaves, they can never uproot the foundation of your inner peace. Additionally, shifting your focus inward allows you to redefine success on your own terms. Instead of chasing approval, you measure happiness through progress, integrity, and authenticity. This transformation is liberating, as it places your emotional well-being back into your hands, where it truly belongs. As you detach from the need for external validation, you discover that self-acceptance and inner alignment create a joy that is steady, resilient, and wholly yours. Rule 6: Live in the present. Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, "Confine yourself to the present." This timeless teaching emphasizes a fundamental truth: the past is an unchangeable memory, and the future remains a realm of uncertainty. While we often dwell on past mistakes or anxiously anticipate what's to come, we rob ourselves of the only moment that truly exists: the present. The now is where life unfolds, where decisions are made, and where growth happens. To embrace this principle, practice mindfulness by consciously grounding yourself in the current moment. When you go for a walk, don't just move mechanically. Notice the rustle of the leaves, the rhythmic crunch of gravel under your feet, and the gentle caress of the breeze on your skin. During conversations, listen intently to the words spoken, the tone of voice, and the emotions conveyed, rather than letting your mind wander to distractions. Even simple actions like sipping a cup of tea can become opportunities for presence. Notice the warmth of the mug in your hands, the aroma rising with each breath, and the comforting taste with every sip. Focusing on the present moment is more than just appreciating fleeting details. It's a deliberate act of detaching from mental burdens. When you shift your attention away from regrets of the past, a place you cannot return to, and stop fearing an uncertain future, you reclaim mental clarity. This clarity gives you the power to respond to life with calm and intention, rather than being swept away by overwhelming thoughts. Additionally, living in the present encourages gratitude. When you're fully immersed in what's happening now, you begin to notice life's small gifts: the beauty of a sunset, the kindness of a stranger, or the peace of a quiet morning. These moments, often overlooked, become sources of joy and contentment. Over time, this practice helps you build emotional resilience, because mindfulness trains your mind to remain steady and undisturbed by external circumstances. By embracing the present, you not only detach from unnecessary worries, but also create space for personal growth and authentic experiences. As Marcus Aurelius implies, life's richest moments don't exist in what was or what could be. They exist here, now, in the simplicity of the present moment. Rule 7: Reframe your thoughts. Our minds are like gardens. The thoughts we nurture determine whether our reality blooms with peace or becomes overrun by the weeds of emotional turmoil. Negative thoughts, left unchecked, are the roots that fuel emotional attachment, pulling us deeper into cycles of dependency, fear, and longing. These thoughts often stem from distorted perceptions, where we exaggerate someone's importance in our lives or underestimate our ability to stand strong on our own. Stoicism teaches us to identify these harmful mental patterns and challenge their validity. It invites us to ask, is this thought serving me, or is it holding me back? By questioning these thoughts, we can begin to replace them with empowering beliefs grounded in self-awareness and personal strength. For instance, when you think, "I can't live without this person," pause and reflect. Is it truly this person's presence that brings happiness, or is it your own mind creating that dependency? Instead, affirm, "I am whole and capable on my own." This reframe shifts the focus from what you think you lack to the strength and completeness already within you. Daily affirmations are powerful tools to rewire the brain. By consistently repeating positive, realistic statements about your abilities and worth, you begin to reprogram the subconscious mind. Pair these affirmations with mindfulness practices, such as meditation or journaling, to deepen your self-awareness. Notice your thoughts without judgment, like an observer, and gently steer them toward clarity and empowerment. Over time, this mental training builds a fortress of inner strength and resilience. You'll find that your emotional stability no longer relies on external circumstances or people, but rather on your own unshakable mindset. Instead of being controlled by fleeting attachments, you become grounded in your values and self-worth, capable of facing any emotional challenge with calm and confidence. By reshaping your thoughts, you reshape your reality. The mental chains that once held you back are replaced by a sense of freedom, where you can navigate life with clarity, purpose, and peace. Rule 8: Set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are an act of self-respect, a declaration that your emotional and mental well-being are valuable and non-negotiable. They act as invisible lines that define where your responsibilities and emotional space end, and where someone else's begins. Boundaries serve as protective shields, safeguarding you from emotional exhaustion caused by people who may unknowingly or even intentionally cross those limits, draining your energy and disrupting your inner peace. Setting healthy boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out or being unkind. Instead, it's about fostering relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. They empower you to decide how much time, attention, and emotional investment you are willing to give to a person or situation. By creating this emotional framework, you teach others how to treat you, making it clear that your needs are just as important as theirs. Communicate your limits calmly and firmly without anger or guilt. Use I statements to express your needs in a way that is clear but non-confrontational. For example, instead of saying, "You're always taking up my time," reframe it to, "I need some time for myself to recharge, and I hope you can understand that by doing this, you prioritize your own well-being while allowing space for others to respect and adjust to your limits." Prioritizing your peace over pleasing others requires courage, especially if you've spent years as a people pleaser or fear being judged. However, compromising your boundaries for the sake of approval often leads to resentment, burnout, and even emotional dependency. Remember, setting boundaries is not about pushing people away, it's about creating healthy emotional space where relationships can thrive without overwhelming you. In a world where emotional energy is finite, boundaries help you redirect your focus to what truly matters: your growth, your passions, and your emotional freedom. They allow you to show up for others, not from a place of obligation or exhaustion, but from a place of strength, clarity, and choice. When you respect your own limits, others are more likely to follow suit, resulting in relationships that are balanced, fulfilling, and rooted in mutual care. Rule 9. Prioritize self-care. Invest time in activities that nurture your body, mind, and soul, as these form the pillars of a balanced and fulfilling life. For your body, engage in physical activities like regular exercise, whether it's strength training, yoga, or even simple morning walks. Movement releases endorphins, often called feel-good hormones, which not only boost your mood, but also alleviate stress and anxiety. A healthy, active body builds resilience against emotional struggles by enhancing your overall energy and confidence. For your mind, incorporate mindfulness practices like meditation, journaling, or deep breathing exercises. Meditation helps you observe your thoughts without judgment, teaching you to detach from emotional turbulence and focus on the present moment. Journaling, on the other hand, provides a safe space to process your emotions, identify patterns of attachment, and set clear intentions for growth. Reading books, learning new skills, or exploring thought-provoking topics can stimulate your mind and shift your focus toward personal development, offering both clarity and purpose. For your soul, engage in hobbies or passions that bring you genuine joy and fulfillment, such as painting, gardening, playing music, or spending time in nature. Creative or purposeful activities allow you to reconnect with your inner self, offering an outlet to express emotions and experience moments of flow, a state where you lose track of time and feel deeply at peace. When you prioritize self-care in this holistic manner, you're not simply filling time, you're building a strong foundation of emotional independence. By cultivating a healthy relationship with yourself, you learn to rely on your own strength and happiness, rather than seeking them from external sources. This newfound stability makes you less susceptible to emotional attachments that drain your peace and empowers you to navigate life with clarity, balance, and unwavering self-respect. Rule 10. Practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, creating a profound mental shift that transforms how you experience life. When you focus on what is present and abundant, you begin to see the richness that already surrounds you, the relationships, opportunities, and even the simple moments that often go unnoticed. Each day, take a few minutes to write down at least 3 things you're thankful for, no matter how small or ordinary they may seem. It could be the warmth of sunlight streaming through your window, the comforting aroma of your morning coffee, or the support of a close friend. This simple yet intentional practice rewires your brain, training it to identify positivity and abundance rather than scarcity and lack. Studies in neuroscience have shown that gratitude activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and serotonin, two chemicals associated with happiness and contentment. Over time, this shift reduces the need to seek validation, comfort, or fulfillment from external attachments. Gratitude also cultivates a deeper sense of perspective. By acknowledging the good in your life, you start to realize how much you already possess, both tangibly and intangibly. This realization softens the sting of unfulfilled desires and helps you see external attachments for what they are: fleeting, often impermanent sources of joy. Instead of obsessing over what's missing or unattainable, gratitude encourages you to appreciate the now, fostering emotional independence and resilience. Epictetus captured this timeless truth when he said, "Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for." This wisdom reminds us that our current blessings, no matter how overlooked, were once aspirations. By focusing on gratitude, you transform your mindset from one of lacking to one of sufficiency, allowing peace, joy, and emotional freedom to take root. Embrace emotional freedom. By applying these timeless Stoic principles, you'll liberate yourself from the invisible chains of emotional attachment that weigh heavily on your mind and heart. These habits don't just help you let go, they empower you to transform the way you experience life. You'll gain a newfound sense of clarity, where your decisions are no longer clouded by overwhelming emotions or unhealthy attachments. Imagine waking up each day with a calm mind, free from the anxiety of external validation or fear of loss. With this clarity comes peace, the kind that allows you to embrace challenges with a steady heart and view setbacks as opportunities for growth. Emotional freedom also brings strength, the strength to stand firm in your values, to detach with grace, and to build a life that aligns with your purpose. By practicing these principles, you'll cultivate emotional resilience, enabling you to respond to life's uncertainties with wisdom and composure rather than react impulsively. Picture yourself walking through life unshaken, confident in your ability to navigate relationships and circumstances with a clear sense of self-worth. If this video resonated with you and sparked a desire to embrace this transformative journey, hit the subscribe button and become part of our growing community. Together, we share wisdom, encourage growth, and strive for a life of inner freedom and balance. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, whether it's a personal insight or a simple emotional freedom starts now. Your voice matters here. Remember, the journey toward emotional freedom doesn't end here, it begins with your first step. Let's walk this path together and embrace the peace, clarity, and strength that await us on the other side. Your liberation starts now. What's holding you back from emotional freedom?